fashion business in Africa, Nigeria as a case study. Fashion is a breath of freedom, comfort, style, and confidence. Before you think of delving into the fashion sector, you must have an idea that there are certain structures, sectors that makes up a fashion industry. And according to a notable fashion and style writer, Zainab Hazen, the fashion industry is divided into creative and sales function. That is design and production on one hand, sales and distribution on the other hand. Before I go further, let's define fashion. What is fashion? Fashion, like the styles it portrays, has many different interpretations. Fashion is a prevailing custom or style of dress. Fashion is a lifestyle. Fashion is life. And this is first recorded in the early 15th century. However, it was probably around 1300 that the sense of the word developed, originating from the word modus manner. Fashion is characterized by change, that is, which is not non-constant. It is this belief that is manifested through clothing, primarily associated with dress and added values to garments. Due to the nature of the word and the application in which fashion plays out in the following example affecting development, fashion for the purpose of this study will include clothing, jewelry, handbag, which are used to adorn the body. While fashion can also encompass a range of other equally justifiable forms such as hairstyle, makeup, body paintings, tattoos. Fashion in this paper will be limited to products primarily which can be produced and purchased for wear on the body, which is clothing. Why Africa? The effects of failing global development strategies have been felt harder in Africa than in any other continent, making Africa the most susceptible to economic and social crises. The continent in the past has not seen any significant growth rate or increase in general well-being as a whole. Africa is poorer today than in the past, with the highest number of people living in extreme poverty, up to an unexpected poverty rate of 38% by 2015. Every 4 seconds, somebody dies in Africa from something preventable. Creative economy. Globally, the concept of creative economy is recent and is still evolving. There is, however, a consensus that creative assets can generate economic growth, job creation, and export earning in an export-driven environment. The role of creative assets has been acknowledged as growing in importance. In Nigeria, the creative economy must be driven from a broad platform. Creative economy must be articulated around creative assets, embracing cultural, economic, social, technological aspects. From the standpoint of promoting economic development, creating jobs and alleviating poverty as visible policy options should be used to the creative economy to diversify the Nigerian economy and improve trade and development gain within the process of globalization. The aesthetic nature of culture gives way to the power of the market. In the light of globalization, process it must be able to contribute to product penetration of the world economy and generate income and property rights. Cultural industries could take their direction from the creative economy and their relevance in the coherence of the national economy. Fashion business in Nigeria. The fashion business in Nigeria has become a critical component of the Nigeria economy, creating jobs, promoting creativity, ingenuity, and culture. Nigeria showed that fashion, garments, and footwear industry contributed a lot to the economy in Nigeria, but a lot of challenges are facing them. One of the challenges in the fashion industry includes structural issues, lack of sustainable market locally, and capacity to compete at the global level. Recently, the pandemic has impacted negatively to the fashion industry in Nigeria and business parts. These and more are contributed to the one of the slow improvements in business in Nigeria. Toyin Lawani, a serial entrepreneur, a fashion stylist, spoke about the pandemic, how the pandemic has affected her business and how it has really drawn her down and how she's.
Celebrity stylist Toyin Lawani may be smiling, but the impact of COVID-19 on her business is straining.
Everybody has stopped working. But it got to a point that I'm like, wow, if they keep extending this thing, I just have to work. So I set up my studio in my house. I'm working at home now, but we are all protected. Sanitizer, very important. Make sure that we're not more than 4 in the house at any point in time. Maybe makeup artist, photographer. You know, like normally all my students, they will come on my set, about 20-25 of us on one set trying to, some trying to learn, some trying to work. But now we can't do that anymore. We have to do more work. So that has added more to our tasks, even now than before. We have to wear the masks, we have to use sanitizer, we have to, like, literally anybody before they step in, I tell them, oh yeah, go have your bath. Not only wash my hands, I tell them to go to the shower at the bath, at the video, and have their bath again before they come into my house and change their clothes, and I give them my overalls, because I have some overalls I designed from Elegante, my label, as well, that I gave out for free with the free mask.
Affected fashion business in Nigeria. Reason why doing business in Nigeria is difficult. Environmental factors can be both internal and as well external for the business. Environmental factors can be explained as identifiable elements with the cultural, economic, demographic, physical, technological, or political environment that impacts the growth, operations, survival of an organization. Access to funds. For a country striving to diversify its economy, setting up financial firms to enable businessmen, women access funds is pivotal to growing the economy. Most businesses, like fashion business, pack up even before reaching the 5-year longevity period, and one of the reasons is because of the inability to access funds from the financial institution. In most cases, when there's an opportunity to access these loans, the interest rate is very high. Another factor affecting fashion business is lack of basic amenities. Reason why doing business in Nigeria is very difficult. Factors are such as lack of electricity, good road network for a smooth operation of business. Another factor is government policy. Certain government policy can affect or promote businesses in any country. A government policy can be described as a rule or decree set to regulate issues in the country. Government policy might take the form of law, regulation, or to govern a particular problem. Currency regulations. Before deciding on doing business, you have to put consideration of foreign currency. Foreign currency regulation has not been easy for small businesses in Nigeria, like fashion business. Reason why doing business is difficult. However, fashion is passion, and the business part of it is profitable.
My name is Monisola Aminu, the CEO of Moni Stitches. Moni Stitches has been in existence since year 2011. So we've been in business since 2011. Okay, to me now, what I see fashion as is appearance, general appearance of any human being, be it male or female. What you appear, what you wear, what you do on your hair, your makeup, your shoes, and your bag. That is that's my own definition of fashion. Now, why I chose fashion as a career? From my childhood, I've had this passion to solve some problems in fashion that I see, which is what I'm actually doing right now. Now, what is the favorite part of? My favorite part of fashion is the designing part. Bringing out a style from what you see in the environment, from nature. That is my favorite part of fashion. Now, what inspires me? Definitely what inspires me in fashion is the nature around me. What I see around me, how the plants and the flowers and everything come out with colors and beauty. I just feel moved to do something from those colors and the nature and everything I see around me. That is what inspires me. Now, to be successful in the fashion business or fashion designing business. Number one is discipline. Number two is account keeping or record keeping. Number two is professionalism. Number three is professionalism. Number four is delivering at the right time. Punctuality. Let me call it punctuality. Number five, no disappointment. No disappointing fashion. Thank God for the internet. We go on internet, we check what is happening in the international fashion industry, in the national fashion industry, even in the local fashion industry. And what are the things that really affect us in the fashion industry? We have our national economy. It is the major thing that affects and there are some policies that will just come up at any time that will affect whether the loan collected or that will affect the prices of fabrics and materials in the market, both national and international. Because when the naira is devaluated, it's really affected us. And for the pandemic period, it affected nearly all businesses, especially in Nigeria. It affected Nigeria economy, so it affected nearly all businesses. We had no contact with clients. Even the online marketing was not really going well because there was no way to deliver them, no movement. And that's we've been trying to solve that issue ever since. How the fashion business in Nigeria can grow. Using grants and loans to the fashion industry. Number two, we are too dependent on imported goods. So if we reduce that, it will actually grow the fashion.
Years ago, the fashion industry was seen as what bored housewives do. There was no structure to the industry. The creative economy suffered. The funding to grow and be an industry that attracts money is nowhere to be found. When you look at Europe, 8 of the richest men are all in the fashion industry. As Africans, as in Nigeria, we love to look good, and nobody can dress as an African the way we can dress ourselves. So there has to be capital injection in this sector to encourage more young people to see this as a sector worth going into. There is also lack of skilled labor, as well as access to quality raw materials to produce design that meet international standards in Nigeria. More importantly, Nigeria's fashion industry needs to recognize that the modern Nigeria consumer is no different from our counterparts in the West. Brands need to demonstrate savviness in embracing social media marketing, as well as spotting the latest trend that appeals to the African consumer in order to create a lucrative fashion business. Thank you.